Ya de parono ma. And one year no Ghana ma has say Ibom ada mmiri. Mana n'ihi okwu ka ti pụta. Ọwụna na Igbo ka m chọrọ ka ha nụ. Achọrọ m ka ụwa niile nụ ya. N'ihi aga m asụ okwu bekee. Ndị ma m n'isi Igbo na-akwado asụmasụ Igbo biko gbaghara m. Adị m obi tọrọ m ụtọ na akpọrọ m oku na-abịa. Mberede nyere dike, mberede ka eji mara dike. Eji anọ na mkpa eme mkpa. Aka ji esi na nga efu, ma o si na nga efu ya rụwa egbe. Okobiri nwaanyị hụrụ ngọ n'ohuru, ma na-awụ ngọ n'ọwụ. Oke anụ gba ọsọ, oke mara achụwa ya. Ndị nwe m nne na ndị nwe ya dịkwara unu mma. Ihe anyị bịara nga ata ahụhụ ihe m. Ọwụ ihe anyị. Ele ihe o ji wụrụ ha anyị. Mmụọ kpaliri m ji kpọọ oku, mmụọ mụrụ ji bụ iche. Maka unu nwere ihe dị ahụ ọnụ mere. Anyị si mba na-awụ nso ụgha agbaja bịa ma n'ala. Hapụ nna anyị, hapụ nna anyị, hapụ ikwu, hapụ ibe. Onye na-adọ anyị. Ndị mmadụ na-ekwuru anyị okwu ọjọọ. Anyị nọ. Ọwụ ihe ọma, anyị agba ọsọ bịa ebe. So, ọwụ ihe m ga-asị mesu ma n'okwu Igbo ka na-anụ nọ na ya. Achọrọ m ka ikwu nụ ya, achọrọ m ka ibe nụ ya, achọrọ m ka ndị mba nụ ya. Achọrọ m ka ndị na-achọghị m ya nụ ya. N'ihi ya na-asụ bekee. So that Nigeria ga-anụ ya. Maka ihe dị iche na gị mere. Ya dịkwara unu mma. I'm sure everybody knows my name. Because all of you here are my friends and my brothers and my people. There comes a time in the history of the people. There comes a time in the history of the people that people must stood together to make a statement to the world and be heard. At any given time in the history of the oppressed, sometimes people will break the charism of fear in them and make a statement to the world. And such statement cannot be mere human passion. It cannot be mere human ego. It must be motivated by a force beyond human. When you are ordinary, you do ordinary things. When you are extraordinary, you are expected to do extraordinary things. But what is noble? Noble is not when you oppress the poor, nor the weak. Noble is not when you are not humble. Noble is not being arrogant. Noble is when you apply power with humility. Noble is when, even with the meager of your wealth or substance, you feel the outcry of your people. You feel the outcry of your fallen heroes. You feel the outcry of the unborn. You feel the outcry of the future of the people that is not secure. That is nobility. And that is power. That is what the Europeans used to say when they conquered new territories. In order to appease the new citizens, they say they are going to be magnanimous in victory, benevolent in character. I have not declared victory. I have not conquered anyone. But I am here today to tell you something different. Where will I start? Am I going to start in the history of our people? Am I going to start in the best of brand? This, what is here, is the best of brand of our people. It is easy to say that Africa is suffering from brain drain. When the youthful of a community is on self-exile, when the youthful of a community is having first and second generation outside their own homeland, they are losing their language, they are losing their culture. They show ego that have no substance. Because when people lose who they are, they become a non-entity. Do any one of us here want to be a non-entity?
No.
We cannot be a non-entity. We came from a tribe of a great stock. We came from a tribe that has suffered so many, and yet we survived. But something is happening that is worrying me. 4 years ago, I'm not going to take you back to the history of our people in the last 3,000 years, but I'm going to tell you the history that is relevant to you. The history that is relevant to you is a history that is affecting me. And what is that? Some of us have been here in Europe for 10 years, some 20 years. And some, like me, 24 years. If you came here for a 3 years education, you say, oh, well, when I finish 4 years, I will go home. From 4 years, it becomes 5 years. From 5 years, it becomes 6 years. From 6 years, it becomes 10 years. From 10 years, it becomes 20. Before you know, you start collecting pension. And you find it difficult to go home. Because all your peers has died. That cannot be the history of our people. And I do not wish such future to anyone here. We're supposed to come here and acquire knowledge to transform our society, isn't it? We are supposed to come here and make light to be 24 hours. We're supposed to come here and give people water to drink. We have pathologists. We have scientists. But nobody ever asked people, why is it in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years, considerable number of our population are dying from typhoid? On a geometrical proportion. It's a very simple thing to ask. I'm sure some of you here are biologists who read science. My brothers and sisters, the bacteria that causes typhoid do not grow in any other thing except fecal water. Meaning, but we have pathologists. We have epidemiologists. We have health scientists. We have sanitary experts. But people never ask a simple question. What has happened that our people are dying? Many children are dying under the age of 5. They are dying from typhoid. They do their test, they say typhoid. And I'm going to give you not a hypothesis. It's a simple scientific theory for you to see. And I am saying all this thing for you to know the type of revolutionary change that today will bring. Could you imagine a city like Owerri? A city like Owerri, every household has a water closet. And each of them is big, say 10 foot underground. And you have 1 million people with water system of 10 foot underground. And they are passing feces in those 10 foot. Now, they do not have a centralized drainage system. When it rains, when it rains, the fecal system drains the water underground to 80 foot. The water will appear clean, and our people will dig a borehole. When they dig a borehole, the water will look clean, and they will drink fecal water, meaning shame. and thousands and millions of our people are dying from this. The pharmaceutical company making money from the vulnerability of a Negro Africa. And upon all of our professors, nobody can solve this simple problem. This cannot be the future of our people. No. This cannot be the future of our people any longer. That in 21st century, upon our helicopters, upon our ego big cars, upon who do you know who I am, the arrogant statement of our people, even the most wealthy in our land drinks fecal water because all of them are suffering from typhoid. Is it acceptable?
No. No.
Any progressive society will cherish the old and nurture the young to grow. Only a regressive society will damage the future of its young.
Well, Africa is a dirty place. It will always be dirty. That's its own problem.
My people, why am I here today? I am here today because I came from an environment that have all the resources. We are so blessed. When Chineke created Africa, he puts a wonderful weather. He puts all known human resources. Anything you plant in our land germinates and grows. We do not suffer from calamity of earthquake.
No.
We do not suffer from drought of unimaginable proportion.
Yeah.
But yet, we still remain the poorest among human race.
The most deprived in the human race.
Having said that, have any of you imagined a tin of cat food in Britain costs £1? An average British cat eats 3 tins a day. Irrespective of the 3 tins, it also enjoys medical care. It also enjoys animal protection. It also enjoys biscuit. It also enjoys insurance. When you add it up, an average British cat consumes £15 a day, while 90% of Nigerian people live under $1. When you multiply that, you find that an average British cat feeds better than an African professor. This cannot be acceptable. I do not want to continue living in a world where an European cat, I'm not even talking of dogs, feeds better than Africans. Where and what is our pride when we have plenty, but many of our people are going to bed with empty stomach? What is our pride when the food that is thrown away in Tesco alone can feed the whole of West Africa, a company only owned by a few corporate bodies, but yet African people are starving to death? Not because of Western power nor imperialism nor Western colonialism, but because man's inhumanity to man of our own kind. Man's inhumanity to man of our own kind. This is the most horrible thing imaginable, that we are bowed down by our own kind. Now, we talk about roots in our land. Nobody ever imagined that we have the right to sue those who make rules for us that are substandard. Because if we are charging us for the road they are building, which is being paid by federal allocation, which is the money derived from our resources, and the roads are not stone-based, the roads are substandard, and then we are having accidents because of the bad roads we have built. In an equitable society, anyone that commits this crime must be dealt with. Because he or she is an accessory to a crime. It might not be a murder, but it's a manslaughter. And if it's a manslaughter in a civilized environment, it must be punishable. In the society we left and came here, many young men are lavishing in prison for stealing bread. Many are lavishing in prison for stealing piece of bread of 1 naira, 20 naira, 10 naira. But nobody ever said, what is the precipitating factor that makes people to steal bread? Because somebody has stolen their allocation. When somebody stole their allocation in a geometrical proportion, you turn millions of people to crime.
Definitely. That's true.
And yet they are not punished. And we have criminals who in their life have never invented something new to contribute to human civilization. We have them. Why do you have somebody who have hijacked the future of the unborn and the future of your own people and put you to shame?
That's all.
What type of society is that?
It's a wicked society.
I have read Marxism. I have read capitalism. I have read the history of great men in different societies in the world. There is something I find that is very common in many societies that has become alien to our own world. And what is that? In most societies, the poor will rise and say, we can have it no more. We can have it no more because we are losing our people. We are losing our women. We are losing our children. We can have it no more. That is what is happening in the Arab world. That is what is happening in Venezuela. That is what is happening in all the society that we are enjoying today. That is what happened in France. When the poor rose up and said, we can have it no more, for few people are controlling our future and we have no more future. But something has happened in our own psyche. Our poor do not want to rise because they want to become rich and behave like the rich. Ladies and gentlemen, the rich cannot revolutionize itself because the opposite of rich is poverty, and no one wants to be poor.
No.
My people, today is 2015. For the fact that you were called in emergency and you responded like an Israeli cabinet shows there is something new in you.
Woo! Yeah.
The Israeli cabinet is the parity of power in the middle of an aggressive environment.
Yeah.
And they are the only people that can summon their cabinet with a space of hours and minutes. And that is what you have done today. For that, I am proud of you. This revolutionary spirit will send a message and a fire to the whole of Africa, because I am going to introduce something new.
Woo.
And I am going to tell you some of my history and my experience. And I will say it public because you go on air. And if it is lies, people can take me to court. A few years ago, I invented a machine called a GlobeNet. I developed the operational mechanism to send a document to anywhere in the world within seconds. I sold, not even sold, I didn't get money. I paid International Technology Exchange money to market my technology. A technology that was given an American code of invention. Irrespective of the fact that I paid, they stole my technology, was never manufactured. In 2004, in this country, there was a disease in hospital called Clostridium difficile, an MRSA. I bought the exclusive right of this machine and technology to reduce the prevalence of malarias in British hospital. Dr. Reed, the Secretary of State for Health, announced my work in International Science Conference. Yet, I was not able to install a machine in any of the British hospital. I lost all my money. Before internet was invented, or before it becomes a universal thing that was used in this place, I've been in Woolwich for 18 years. Imol was the first place in this town where internet was used in the public. It was introduced by me. It was introduced by a black man. The original idea of Imol was not internet. And I will tell you what Imol is. I don't do it in Imo State. As far back as 1995, I developed an idea that I can create a system where we will have a system to control and monitor all importers and exporters from anywhere in the world. I invented the idea of IMOL. IMOL means Intercontinental Market Opportunity Links. Why am I saddened that I have not made a great breakthrough in wealth from these innovations? I'm saddened because I came from a society that decided not to support its own people.
Wow.
And such society, if it's not stopped, will have no future. Such society, its brain will always be in exile. Such society, its brain will always die outside their own homeland. And they will be using Africa as a burial ground. Africa can no longer afford to have you as a burial ground. We need their brain when you are alive. There is a bird called Shekeleke Bangoshe. Most of you see this when you go to your local stream in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, these birds were not natives of Africa. They came from Siberia, over 7,000 miles from their homeland. Their brain is not as big as this. But every year they migrate to Africa to enjoy the paradise. But yet, sons and daughters of Africa is in the cold region. We are mammals. And mammals are warm-blooded animals. Cold is not good for us. That is why every home here has to have a heater. We are so blessed. We are so blessed, but yet there is not much to be shown for it. My people, yeah, the Parunoma.
No.
The reason, I'm not going to go straight to give you the reason why I'm here today until I point out some facts that are very relevant. All of us here, based on our color, should I assume, came from Africa. And if you look at the shape of Africa, you do need to be told that it's the heart of the Creator. If you check the DNA that have been established, man walked in Africa before any other continent. We are one of the oldest landmarks where people have existed. Perhaps that is why we are so vulnerable, because we see every other thing that walks on the surface of the earth as our offspring. We have no intention of new empires. What we have is intention that let all of us live. But I want us not only to be existing, but I want us to live. Live with dignity. Live with pride. And live in an environment where we will be able to say to our Chineke, may honor and glory be to thy name.
Amen.
Amen.
We came from a country. It is not coincidence that we are in Woolwich. Woolwich is of a significant position in the history of the country called Nigeria. The lady that named Nigeria, Flora Shaw, once lived and born here, I think here in Woolwich. The man that bought Nigeria, it was his personal asset. He bought it with his money. Both the North and Southern Protectorate. And his name is called Sir Goldie, Truman Goldie. He is the guy that bought Nigeria and sold it in 1889. Some of the remnants of his company still exist in Nigeria. And we are in Woolwich. Woolwich is a great town. And we are actually near Woolwich Arsenal, which is over there on the right. This town is one of the bays of the imperial power.
Yeah.
The Crimean War, the First World War, the Second World War, most of the weapons were manufactured here in Woolwich. We are in the town of power.
Yeah.
And we must inherit that power.
Woo.
If we find ourselves in an environment where the originality of expressional geographical entity was named, if we find ourselves those who feel they can acquire Africa, and we're in that environment, and we find ourselves in an environment of source of power, and we are free people, we have no reason why we should not acquire power in our land. The idea is not to acquire power, but is what do you use with the power you have acquired?
Yeah.
Is the power you have acquired, have you become magnanimous in victory? Have you become benevolent in character? Have you become disciplined enough? Have you expressed those things that have kept us down that you can do the opposite? Some years ago, somebody came from Nigeria and started teaching us democracy. I told my friend, this is a total insult. How could somebody came from an environment, yes, I'm happy my friend is here, he knows the gentleman. How could somebody who could not even organize a simple clan meeting in his environment can come and tell somebody in an imperial environment that ruled his forefathers, that had maintained democracy for over 700 years, how to run democracy? How could somebody who was given a quasi-independence by an imperial power, ruled by the military for over 38 years, to tell us how to be democratic? I cannot imagine any other society where people can throw insult to their own children who have been exposed. If somebody see all of you here and say you have not seen anybody, the only person the person wants to see is the dead.
Yeah.
I want to tell all of you, before I invited everyone here, I believe there is something great in all of you. If I do not consider you great, I have no time to invite you. But collectively, that greatness, we will use it for something. I want us to send message home that you are children, you are daughters and sons in London want to change. I have not called you from partisan politics. I know that some of us here might have different ideological persuasion, different political interests, because of one associate, because of one candidate and another. Because these people have mesmerized us so much that we have to seek one contact, one associate and another in order for us to be heard. I called all of us here for us to join together as a stakeholder in writing, in document, in agreement, whatever it takes. I have not called here because you are from Imo State, or from Anambra State, or from Ebonyi State. I have called you here as one people. Even though in the Nigerian geographic dispensation in the Eastern Sub-region, I came from Imo State. Imo State is significant. It is significant in the changing of the dimension of our society because we are the center. We have access to River State, we have access to Bayelsa, we have access to Ebonyi, we have access to Abia, we have access to Enugu, and we are the heart. If your heart fails, your entire body will collapse. But if your heart is strong and it beats strong, the entire system of your body will function strong.
Yeah.
My people, our heart is beating. But together, as Chineke said, where two or three is in his name, there he is.
That's it.
As Chineke said, ask it shall be given, seek it shall find, knock the door shall be opened. What you bound on earth is bound in heaven.
Amen.
As Chineke said, with the faith, we can move mountains.
Yeah.
I am not here as a PDP. I am not here as ABGA. I am not here as PPA. I am here for change. And something is worrying me. And that thing that is worrying me, and I keep looking and see if there's anybody can rise to speak for me. It appears nobody is speaking for me. You cannot build schools. You cannot give free education if after the free education, people are jobless. For that reason, there is a man called Eze. Eze is my mentor. Eze is my friend. He has an idea of an industrial revolution. But unfortunately, he keeps struggling to see that justice is done in his ABGA ticket. Eze is a young man, a banker, 43 years old banker. He has never contested election before. He has never taken contract and embezzled the money. But yet, he has found it difficult to emerge. And right now, he's still in the court, trying to see that justice is done. Now we have another competitor, a 72-year-old man. In my society, a 72-year-old man should be respected. A 72-year-old man should be honored. But we will also expect a 72-year-old man to be a counselor, a guardian, a protector, an advisor, to bring the intellectual, to bring the wealth of knowledge to help to grow the young, so that our future will be stronger. The future is in the young, isn't it?
Yeah.
We also have people that are the fourth most powerful in the Nigerian dispensation. And we should admire that they reach to that level of success in our society. We are not here to undermine the progress of our people. We are here to cherish what is good, a great achievement by our people. But having said that, if we have done something and it produced wrong result, why do we continue doing it? We must have a change.
Yeah.
If we live in a crossroad and we are having hotels, but there is no job, what do you think will be the consequence? I want to ask you.
Prostitution.
Now, can a society progress in prostitution?
No way.
You might condemn a prostitute, but every prostitute has somebody feeding.
Definitely so, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
As you condemn a prostitute, you should ask yourself, what is the precipitating factor that leads people to prostitutes?
Thank you. Correct.
When people hijack the future of the vulnerable. I have people measuring, saying, oh, the governor is performing. I cannot stay here and say to you, Rochas or Okorocha have not performed. But the question is, who do you compare him with? He has performed, but you are comparing him with who? You are comparing him with people you say that have not performed. If you are comparing him with people you say have failed, is he not one-eyed man in the land of the blind? He's a king. If I want to compare you, I should compare you with Mbakwe, so that we can measure you on a parity. And if we cannot measure you on parity, you have failed. I want to be compared with the best in the world.
Well, you should be compared with Obama.
When I am compared with the best in the world, I am measured in parity, and that is what is called equality. I do not want any man to tell me I'm equal. I want exact equality by my own substance of capability. Having said that, Mbakwe, in a space of 4 years, in a bigger state of 3, was able to establish companies I can remember. Then we say paint industry, Daba glass industry, Daramaraku power station. Do you want me to start naming?
Aluminium extraction.
And people were employed because we have industrial parity. It was this industrial parity that made us to survive the greatest onslaught in 1966 to 1970. We were able to maintain an industrial parity that was the envy of the world.
Yay!
My people, I am coming out and I am going home and I'm going to take power. Let me tell you, people will doubt. They will think it's a bluff. I do not call bluff. I will take power for benevolency. I will take power for discipline. I will take power for industrial revolution. Power. Not by arms, not by weapon, not by terrorism. I will take power by the competitiveness of an idea. Why? A man has stayed in Imo State for nearly 4 years. Nobody has told me a single industry that has ever been built.
Roundabout.
Now, if you cannot build industries, and you are building elephant cosmetic projects, and we have the youths, and they are languishing in prison, for what? For stealing bread. This is a travesty of justice and cannot be acceptable, my people. It cannot be acceptable because it's evil.
The blacks have always been.
It makes us subservient. It makes us lack dignity. It takes away pride from us. We are proposing something new. We are proposing something new. And we do not have vision to compare in Africa. I want to be compared with the West because the West are the best.
Yes.
We will match them in technological power. Do not take this as a bubble. And I will give you an idea of what we are going to do. We are proposing to build 27 factories in 27 local governments within 24 months. And we will link the 27 factories to 305 sub-cooperative entities, covering the 305 wards in Imo State. And we will link it to 586 autonomous communities. And we will make Imo State an industrial hub. From Imo State, we will supply processed cassava, processed animal feed. We will make animal feed, we will process the food in every known agro-industrial endeavor conceived by man. We will use the resources in our land to create it and sell food not only to sub-Saharan Africa, but to the world.
Yay.
When I see starving Africans, what I see is Europeans helping them with relief. Mahatma Gandhi said a piece of bread to the face of a hungry man is God. The superiority of the Western power is not a bluff, it's a reality. But the fact is that we are also superior in our own way, but we must make it to manifest. Some years ago, I woke up in the morning and I was watching my television. I saw my people in Haiti. Thousands of people dead. I called Ikemba personally. I said, there is a catastrophe. He called Ume, and I understand they raised some relief for money to give to Haitian people. But it was never raised to identify that it was given to them by their own brothers, as they helped us when we are facing mass extermination. But the system I'm going to create, this is from agricultural production. We will supply relief to every starving African nation. You see, Bob Marley said it, or Peter Tosh, I don't know which one in particular. He said, wherever you came from, as far as you are black, you are an African. My people, either we have forgotten our history or we don't really know who we are.
No, we don't know who we are.
If we have not forgotten our history, you will know that somehow the African Americans, you will know that the Haitians, the Brazilians, the Cubans, the Dominicans, the Tobagans, these are our people. These are our people. If we cannot invite them home, we can create an environment to make them feel home. And the simplest way to do this is to do something spectacular in the middle of Africa. A country, a state, a region of reference. And that is what I'm advocating in Imo State in 2015.
We're there.
Now, I need to put this message clear so that nobody in Imo State will doubt that I'm returning home and I will compete in the election in 2015 and I will win Rochas.
Yay!
I I am the only one that will win Rochas in intellectual power.
Yes.
I am the only one that will win him in discipline. I am the only one that will win him in competitive of origin.
Yes.
Who is his father? I am the great-grandson of Ide Konazo. We did not succumb. When the Europeans came, we did not turn to become warrant chief. My great-grandfather rejected it because he's a man of honor. I am not a tribalist, but anyone who knows me here in London, I have maintained the dignity of my people.
Yay.
And with the help of every one of you, what we are going to do today, you are going to be part of the stakeholder of the revolution I'm going to introduce. My people. I am appealing to you to support me. I am appealing to you not to support me from political perspective, but support me from conviction of your own spirit. I am appealing to you to support me with a team of my friend Okeze, a man that is unjustly treated. As I felt that Rochas was unjustly treated, and I thought I made a positive move to help in my own little way, I printed 5,000 posters for him with the help of my friends. I printed 150,000 posters, leaflets, T-shirts, because I thought that he's a Messiah. But when I found that his government had failed, and I looked around to see if there's anyone that can make a change, and there is no one, I decided to stand. Oh. I will emerge in the PPA ticket with a chisel.
That's a strategy. That's a good one. Okay.
And I will change the surface and the face of Imo State and create an industrial agro-revolution to change the face of our people from pain and anger and pestilence to people that can be competitive with everyone in the world. My good people, I need your support. I want you to forget which party you belong. I want you to forget which part of Igbo land you belong. I want you to join a project. And I want you to have conviction that as this statement and this message permeate your mind, it's going to permeate the mind of millions, because I'm going to bring more something spectacular. This evening, the first support I need from everyone here is not only money. It's not money I came for. I need money too. Whoever wants to contest governorship requires money. Governorship requires money. But there's something you can give me that is greater than money.
Yes.
And that is your spiritual mind, energy. Because every word comes from Chineke. He's the creator.
Yes.
I know you might have a doubt in your mind, some of us. Can this guy be able to do this? My people, whatever has made it possible for me to have the ticket of PP as a governor, aspirant, will make it possible for me to win.
Yay!
February 2015, I will compete and I will conquer.
Amen.
And I will contest and I will win.
Amen.
As you send this message to the world, ask Rochas to come and let us debate. I want to debate with Rochas. I want to debate with Rochas in security. I want to debate with Rochas in inventive mind. I want to debate with Rochas in technology. I want to debate with Rochas in the change that our people deserve. I do not need to create a new autonomous community and ask people to pay 5 million. There's no need for that.
No way.
No way.
You are in already.
We have passed the age of ceremonial expression. We want reality.
Yes, sir.
I do not want to create an environment of worthless leadership. I want our aces to be compared with other great leaders, other great royalties. When you fizzle the quality of something, it becomes valueless. If you have salt, it's white. You have a white sand, it's white. But salt is more valuable because it's scarce. Sand, a trip of sand you can buy with the cost of a bag of salt. Gold is an ornament. But a small bar of gold can buy this property because it has value. I want to add value to Imo State. I want to add value to our education. The second thing I need from you after your spiritual support, I have, before you can ask me questions, because I'm a Democrat, you can ask questions and I will give you answer in every known human endeavor. I have a form here. What I want in this form is your name, your telephone number, and your email if you have them. And names of everyone here. If you have so much you cannot fit the front, you put the back. Anyone here in London, in the UK, which you would like me to invite to come on Sunday, where I will formally declare, because you are the stakeholders, but I'm going to declare to the public my intentions to contest the 2015 governorship election in Imo State. This is what I need from you as a start. After that, I then might need your home contact, because my target is to recruit 2,000 people in Britain, whichever part of the lower Niger that supports this campaign, and that is the key to my winning. Thank you.
Ọchịchị, ị na-egbu mmadụ, ị na-ata ego, ị na-eme ka nna na nwa nọdụ n'agha, mee ka ikwu na ibe gụọ ndị mba ọzọ n'ala nke aka ha. Ị na-emebi ego. Ọ bụ gị mere ka agha daa n'ụwa niile, mee ka Afrịka bụrụ obodo na-anọ mgbe niile.